Hey everyone, how y'all doing? I got my long-term full review of the CRKT Pilar 3, and I have to say I've been quite happy with this knife. It's quite a surprise how much I like this, how good it is, how much I've carried it and used it. Uh, you know, I've carried this over quite a few um, fancier, better knives. But yeah, the CRKT Pilar 3. This is a D2 version, and then the D2 comes with a bronze backspacer. They do have an 8CR 13 MOV steel blade. That comes with a aluminum backspacer, and this one runs about $51.95 for the D2. The 8CR runs $38.95. And I have to say, as far as I'm concerned, what's that, $13? It's worth $13 to upgrade to D2. Um, this has held up really well for as much as I've used it. And yeah, it's still, I haven't done anything. I haven't stropped it, much less sharpened it or anything. So it still has the factory edge, and there's a piece of printer paper, and yeah, it still has a pretty good edge on it. I actually cut up a bunch of cardboard this morning with it, and yeah, I mean, it could stand probably to be stropped, but it's holding up really well. But yeah, guess as usual, go over the specs real fast, do some size comparisons, and talk about it. So I'll try to add to some of the specs up top here. The overall length of the Pilar 3 is 7.25. Blade length is 3 inches. The blade width, the height this dimension is 1 inch. Blade thickness is a little beefier at 0.15. The handle is 4.25 inches long. Handle thickness is under half an inch, is like 0.42. And the handle height, this dimension, the widest spot is 1 inch. Weight of this thing is 3.6 ounces, so it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's not bad at all. I think it being a little heavier actually makes it feel better. But yeah, let's do some size comparisons. Let's start out with a Benchmade bug out. Line pivots up. You can see it's a little shorter than the bug out. Handle length's about the same. The blade on the bug out's just a little bit longer. Let's try the Spectacle Para 3 lightweight. Now, overall, and blade and everything, these are pretty close. And I usually show this for size comparisons, but in particular with this one, the forward finger choil, the 50/50 choil on this, and the shape of the handle is very similar feeling to the Pilar 3. The only thing, you don't have this thumb ramp, but very similar in feel. Obviously this weighs more than the Para 3 lightweight. And real quick, obviously you can see lengthwise they're pretty close. You can see how much taller the Para 3 is compared to the Pilar 3. So yeah, that's a good size comparison. How about we do the Civivi Elementum? This is a D2 copper scale version, my first Elementum, and they're pretty close. Blade blade to blade's close, handle's close. You got, the lanyard hole in the back spacer makes it a little bit longer. But yeah, very close. Let's try a couple oldies but goodies. How about the Kershaw Shuffle 2? You can see it's quite a bit bigger than the Shuffle 2. But again, kind of the same forward finger choil, 50-50 choil. Spot for your next finger. Kind of fits into that. I have to say on this, I always say I absolutely hate that pocket clip being tipped down, but my hand's cramped in this. My fingers are cramped trying to fit into the cutouts, the choils. But yeah, as you can see though, Pilar 3 is a lot bigger than the Shuffle 2. How about steel wheel cut jack? This is the mini. So pretty close. 3-inch blade on both. Handle is a little longer on the Pilar 3. It's a little stretched out. Again, the cut jack mini's got a nice forward finger choil, nice ergos, a little bit of thumb ramp with jimping, but very similar in size. Let's bring out a couple of CRKTs that I have. I don't have very many. One I have is the squid, and this is a D2 micarta version with the same kind of back spacer. But yeah, you can see the Pilar 3 is way bigger than the squid. This is a little tiny knife. And another small CRKT, which I kind of like to compare it to, is another Jasper Vaxxus design. And if I didn't say, you can see right there, Vaxxus design. The CRKT Pete is also. But these have very similar styling looks to me. The same kind of drop point or spear point design. You got a thumb hole. This has a little tiny baby finger choil. It's really a sharpening choil, but very budget knife. This is 8CR 13 MOV. I can't remember how much this thing costs. 25 bucks or something like that. And it's a nice little 5th pocket EDC knife, but I think they're very similar in design. I mean, Jasper Vaxxus designed them. I think they go good together. This could be a 5th pocket knife. This could be a primary. And yeah, I guess that's all I brought out. So let's go over this thing a little bit. Like I said, you got a 3-inch D2 blade, high flat grind, stone wash finish. Got the CRKT logo there. It's okay. You got Pilar. You got Vaxxus Designs. You got the IKBS symbol there. Rides on ball bearings. Frame lock. Lockup is great on this thing. Deployment hole. It works. I can literally reverse finger flick it, spidey flick it. I can use the ring finger. I can even open it with my pinky. So action on this thing and the bearings is excellent. I mean, come on. I mean, this thing is pretty much drop shutty. You don't have a flipper tab or anything to catch your finger, so you gotta make sure you do that. It's gonna at least hit your thumbnail. But yeah, this thing action is remarkable. It was good out of the box, but I'll get into it a little more. I did take this apart and clean it, and it stepped the action up several steps. I mean, I thought it was excellent straight out of the box. But yeah, so ball bearing pivot, frame lockup is good, like I said. No play, up, down, left or right. You got a G10 scale on the one side. On the lock side, it's all stainless steel, stone wash, like the blade. Pocket clip is not really stone washed, maybe bead blasted, but it's not really shiny. Actually, the shiniest thing on the knife is the CRKT right there. It's kind of, you get in the light just right, doesn't reflect. Deep carry pocket clip, although there's some sticking above the clip. Lanyard, the backspacer or lanyard hole sticks up above. That's always one of my pet peeves. When they screw the pocket clip up for the sake of a lanyard hole, but it's okay. This one doesn't bother me. Pocket clip has good retention, and check it out. The pocket clip's recessed, the screws are recessed, there's nothing to get in your way. The relief cuts here for the lock bar cause no issues. Thing goes in and out of pocket, nice. Have no complaints about that. They're a little bit sticking up on this. I mean, you got that much. I'd prefer it to be completely deep carry, but it doesn't bother me at all. I haven't said I'm not carrying this because it sticks up, put it that way. But yeah, like I said, bronze backspacer on this. Got, generous lanyard hole, that's your thing. And tell you the truth, I don't like lanyards. I've tried them. I used to have a rawhide leather lanyard on this, which actually looked good, but I didn't like having it. Some reason, the way this knife flows, it almost calls to have a lanyard. And I don't know, I might someday put one on just to see what it looks like. Don't need it. You don't need it to extract it from your pocket. You don't need it to get more grip. It'd be purely decorative. But yeah, this thing has surprised me. I really like this. I carry this a lot. I use this a lot. I used it today. I cut a bunch of cardboard up just to make the pieces smaller. I was taking them to the recycle, and yeah, it just cuts through really nice. Ergos on this thing are excellent. That forward finger choil and the way the handle is shaped, it fits my hand nice. And I do wear extra large size gloves, and it's not like going over the specs, it's not a huge knife. 3-inch blade, 4 1/4 inch handle. It's not huge. Same size as the Para 3 lightweight, basically. But feels good in hand. Ergos are very similar to this, except for the thumb ramp. But yeah, I mean, they're not much different in size for the handle. They're pretty spot on, really. The Para 3 is a little thicker in some areas, and the Pilar 3 is about the same in some. But yeah, very similar. I like it. I like the ergos on this. The action, like I said, is just crazy, stupid, good. Really fidgety for a knife like this. Love the action. Pocket clip I talked about. They did it right. CRKT, some reason, you either like their knives or don't. I'm not the biggest CRKT fan, but they can do pocket clips right. Even on the budget Pete, they did it right. The pocket clips recessed, the screws recessed. They did the same thing on this, and it works good. Carries excellent. Like I said, in and out of pocket nice. It's not all that tall. A little over an inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter maybe. Well, it fits in the pocket nice. There's nothing, there's no flipper tab or anything. Get in the way, you get past it real nice. Yeah, I just can't say enough about the action, the ergos of this, sliceability of this. It is a little thicker, it's 0.15, but it's a high flat grind, and does have a nice swedge on top. And this slice is good. I mean, it cuts cardboard. There's a piece of cardboard. I mean, like I said, I have not sharpened this, stropped it or anything. It's just, you can puncture and cut. It just, man, I just love the way this works. Like I said, I got some nicer knives, definitely more expensive knives, and I carry this a lot. This made my top 5 most carried for the month, 2 months in a row. And although I didn't really keep track every day, this is probably because I got 2 nice, 2 new Civivis that I carried quite a bit. This at least came in 3rd probably, and if not, maybe 2nd. But yeah, so there's a lot to like about it. I just like the basic design. Now, I never had a Pilar, or the original, the Pilar large, the P large, so I don't know how they were. And I saw this come out, and I like the more stretched out design. I'm like, I gotta get one of those. So when the D2 came out, I grabbed it. Like I said, I've had this for a while, and I just like the design, how it flows. I think it looks good. Drop point, or they call it a spear point, I guess it is. That swedge kind of throws off the looks a little bit. And even closed, I think it's pretty cool looking, especially from the G10 side. This side it just looks good. Complaints, knocks against this, there's a couple, and just get into those. One is the grind is off. I don't know, you can see the grind up towards the tip is a lot smaller than the grind on this side. And like I said, I haven't sharpened or even stropped this, so when I do go to sharpen it, I'll work that out, fix that. Doesn't cause any issues, just don't look good. Blade centering is good, but you can see the grind kind of makes it look like it's off just a touch. Fit and finish on this thing overall is good. Finish on the grind is a little wonky. There's one sharp edge, but for the most part, there's no sharp edges on the inside of the G10, inside of the frame, anything. One spot is right on the corner, right there. That is a little sharp. Easily can sand that down a little bit, and I'm gonna now. I haven't, because I want to make sure I pointed that out in the review. Yeah, that's that little corner right there. That is a little bit sharp. Now, has it ever bothered me using it? Not at all. It's when you're feeling around, you can feel that. It is kind of sharp. Don't feel it when you're, unlocking it. which, by the way, although it doesn't, the lock itself doesn't stick up all that much, does have the scalloping in there. It's easy access, pushes over nice and easy. No issues with that. But the biggest complaint I have about this knife is when I got it, the action was pretty good. I thought it was excellent. Someone else on a video or in comments of a video said theirs came filthy. So I tried to take it apart, and the pivot has high strength Loctite thread locker, red thread locker, and this one did too. So taking it apart, getting it apart was a pain in the butt. I literally had to get I don't have it out here, a hobby heat gun. You know what I'm talking about? I tried using a wood burning tip to put in the hole, heat it up. Didn't do anything. I had to get that heat gun, and I heated it up. And finally I was able to break it loose. Disassembly and everything, it's about what you expect, you know, except for the little like barrel spacers or whatever that go through the back spacer. Screws, you know, screws in both sides. These are little T6 screws. That's a T8. Yeah, I dropped one of those little barrel spacers. Had a heck of a time finding it. Putting it back together. This part back here is kind of finicky to get everything. But yeah, it was dirty. And for some reason, this knife I cannot keep clean. I blew it out with, you know, compressed canned air, you know, like you clean off your keyboards and stuff. It just seems like a lit magnet in there. But then again, I used it today. I cut quite a pile of cardboard up. So yeah, plus it's been in my pocket, so I'm picking up more dirt. But that's it. You get one of these. I know 3 or 4 people that now said it's got a high strength thread locker on the pivot, and it's a pain in the butt to get out. But once you do, I did not put any blue Loctite or anything on this. I put it together. I just put it back in. It's held. It hasn't loosened up or anything like that. So yeah, they're the only knocks. The edge is uneven. Got one little sharp point right there, which I'm going to take care of now. And the pivot's got high strength thread locker, and it was hard to get apart. In fact, if you look, I did kind of muck up the pivot screw a little bit. And I used Weehaw bits, you know, bit on that, so it didn't mess my bit up or anything. But yeah, it wasn't easy. But yeah, I guess that's about it, man. Other than those couple little things, I think this is an awesome knife. 50 bucks for what you get. The ergos, the action, you know, D2 steel, G10 scale on that side, the stainless on this side. I like the stone wash is all good. You know, this thumb hole, that's one thing that's done really good. It's not rounded over, so you can't get traction, but it's not sharp. Just, it's done right. So many knives have a thumb hole, finger hole, and they're in the wrong spot. They don't work right. In fact, my Para 3, that had a sharp, that was kind of sharp. I actually sanded it down a little bit. But yeah, check these guys, check it out. I recommend this knife, if you got 50 bucks and you want a nice, heavier use, robust, nice knife with good ergos, decent slicing ability. It's not that thin on the edge, but you saw it cuts through that cardboard like nothing. And I've used this. I mean, this D2 on this is holding up good. Like I said, I have not sharpened it, I haven't stropped it, and it still slices paper, cardboard. It's probably due for a stropping. I like to fix the grind, fix that. So, see how small it is on this side compared to this side. This side's pretty even all the way down through. This side's not. But hey, still cuts. First sharpening, that'll straighten itself out. But yeah, I guess that's it. This has been the surprise knife for me this year that I've gotten. I mean, the other ones, they're nice. I knew I'd like them. This one, I thought it was going to be good, but it's way better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, 3.6 ounces might, compared to some knives, are quite heavy. But, boy, you just don't, it just feels right. The weight feels good. Boy, it just feels good. But yeah, I guess that's it. If you like these videos, hit the like button. Leave a comment down below if you had the Pilar 3 or any of the other ones. I may someday pick up the original size just to have. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'd appreciate it. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and you can do a lot more after you get 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I guess that's it. Till next video, bye.